Hey everyone, it's Alexander. I'm community ambassador for Cursor AI, and today I will show you how to use Cursor, some good practices, and help you build apps using Cursor. Today's plan is to build a product dashboard app and then set up the full software development lifecycle using Cursor. So without further ado, let's get started. I found out this sample API that we will use for data for our app. So if we check the API here, we can get all products, we can get a single product, the data about a product, search products, we can sort products here and get categories, add a product, etc. So this will be sufficient for us to build a product dashboard app. The first thing I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna create a repository for my product. You're probably familiar with GitHub and other Git hosting providers. But here we will use Cursor native Git hosting solution called Origin. If you go to cursor.com codebase, you can create new repo here, and we will say product dashboard. Create a repo, and we're good to go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say push local project, and here on, if we go to Cursor, I already created the repository for this workshop. So we will push this local repository to Origin later. Now, this interface, it's a new Cursor interface called Agents View, and this is optimized to work with agents. On the left side, you can see all the repositories you have. So it's like multi-repo workspace, and in the middle side, you have chat with agents. So this is like your main view to work with agents. And then on the right side, you have some extra utility functions. You can see the files, open terminal, open browser, open canvases, etc. If you open terminal here, let's see what we have. All right, we need to select the repo here first. And now we can open terminal. And you can see this repo is pretty much empty. We have .git file, so I already initialized Git repository for this repo. So let's bootstrap our product. Let's build product dashboard app. Okay, I'll say requirements here. So we should get the product data from this dummy API that we have here. Next, we will use Convex as database and backend. We will use Next.js app for our app and connect it to Convex database. And I will say here the data from API should be stored in our Convex DB, and we should periodically, every 5 minutes, refetch data from the API. So I will say here, we should have 3 database tables. And let's say products, categories, and reviews for our products. So what is Convex? Convex is a relational database that runs in the cloud. So they actually bootstrap the database for you. They scale it if needed. And they also have this serverless cloud functions that you can leverage. So you don't need to deal with local database, setting it up, setting everything up. They will just bootstrap database for you, which is great. Now we can say here, use Convex MCP for it, just to make sure that agent actually uses our MCP server that we have. And this will be our prompt for the product. Maybe we can say some design related. So the design should be simplistic. We want warm colors and clear components, let's say. All right, so what is MCP? MCP server, you can check it here in Cursor, and you can see that I have many different MCP servers connected. The one we are going to use is Convex, and before you actually use it, you need to connect your account here, which I already did. But in essence, MCP servers are tools that our agents can use, and for each project we have a tool so that agent knows how to utilize tools from that specific product. There's also concept called skills, which are another way to explain to agent how to use the product. If you go / and then start typing Convex, for example, you can see the skill here that they created. If we need to explain our agents more how to use it, we can use the skill. Right. Here, we can obviously, we already selected the repository, we select the branch we want, and we can choose if we want to execute this in cloud or in our local machine. Right now, we're going to do local machine. Here we can pick the agent. We can choose to be fast or slower, and we can choose the effort. So these are some parameters that optimize your token spending, how much you pay for the agent, but also like performance. If you want to be faster and maybe more expensive, or slower and less expensive, or to think more, or these are some things that you choose. But you can also pick the model, or you can choose auto and let Cursor decides which model to run for you. In this case, we're going to choose the latest Grok 4.6 model and run with that. So let's build this with agent and see what we have. So I'll say here one more thing. Create new project in Convex called product dashboard. All right. So while the agent is building here, we can check some more cursor features. So we already seen that we have the terminal access, we have browser view here, and you don't need to go to external browser. You can test your app from within cursor. You can see changes, which we'll shortly see once our agent is finished, right? And you have side chats feature. So if you want to follow up with agent, you can say side/side. So you can here discuss more your idea here in side chat. Cursor has automations, which we will use later to automate your software development lifecycle. You can go to customize and configure, choose new plugins, MCP tools for your agents here. In settings, you can choose the general appearance of your editor. You can see plans, usages. You can see some agent configurations. If you want more flexibility, so you can choose to restrict your agents. You can choose to give them more freedom. You can see available models, etc. For now, this is enough. So yes, we created this repository here, but I want to mention that this is the new basically GitHub replacement from Cursor, and they explained in this blog post. So if you go to their website, blog, Git at any scale, I really recommend this. This is a great blog post explaining how Cursor built their own repository and version control system. And yeah. So let's see how this is going. So in changes, you can already see live while agents is building that we already have some files. We have source app. So we have our web app is being set up. You can also follow what agent is doing. So if we expand here, we can see the chain of thoughts. It ran here the convex MCP tool. So it's setting up convex. We can also go to our convex dashboard here and check what's happening. All right. You can see that the product dashboard project has been created. So let's go to that. Right now we see the schema. No data is yet there. So convex behaves as relational database. We'll define our tables here for product categories and reviews, and then we can also create functions to work with our data, to do some more compute here, to run schedules. The good thing about convex is that it always tries to keep all the logical operations atomic if you need it. So you can define different data workflows. For example, to update, and the convex will make sure to update all the necessary tables for you. Yes. All right, let's see how we're going here. So convex product is live. I'll add schema. Okay, and we'll add 5-minute dummy JSON sync, which can be a schedule as well. You can see that it's building here the convex folder. And in this convex folder, we can define convex related files, and then during the compile time, it's gonna build these convex files and deploy it to Convex Cloud. Let's see here what we have. So here's how dashboard looks like. We have a query here that allows us to search products, right? We have this V object schema that we define here. We have product count, category count, some general info about products. Here we can query products, filter it by title, and yeah, basically it's the same as working with any other database, but in simplified way. So it says schema is deployed. Let's see what we have here. We already have some functions as we saw. We can list products, we can list categories. This is our schema. So reviews table, products table, categories, and we can check the data. So we already pulled the data from the dummy API and inserted it in our database. So you can see how powerful this is. The agent have done this all for us. We just need to be aware of what's happening and guide our agent. Now our agent finished the execution and we can check what's been built. So here's the summary. We created Convex project, tables in the database. We're syncing dummy.json every 5 minutes with a cron job. And our app consists of Next.js. And then we have this product page, which we'll check in a moment. Here it says some design related things. And it says that we need to work locally, we need to run our app next server, and then we need to run this command for Convex Watcher. And the port 3000 was already in use, so the agent actually hosted this on port 3001. And yeah, let's check it here. So here's our on port 3001 is our app. We can see the catalog here, and this is actually the accurate data from this API that we used. We can search products across different categories. Here's furniture. We can probably search as well. Let's see how it works. Anybody. Okay. So we have these two sofas. All right, this so far so good. What happens if we refresh now? So we're pulling the latest data from the API. All right. And if we go into the item, we can see that we can check reviews as well. We can see images. Pretty good if you ask me. All right. So what next? Let's push this project to our origin remote repository, and I'll just say copy prompt here. What does it say? Push my local project to the empty cursor origin repository. So you can just give this prompt to agent, and let's see what happens. So if we check repository structure one again, we have these convex files. We have these are all deployed to Convex Cloud, and Convex knows how to work with this. So you can see these generated data model files, and then the crons, and then the functions for querying the data. We have our Next.js tab here. It's checking if we have any secrets before we push the repo. And we did it. So let's check it out. Okay, here is our code base. You can here, we can create automation, and let's do that. Code review automation. We can do it manually here. We can say when the PR is opened. Oops. Oh, wow. When the PR is open, we're going to say from origin, this one, if it's opened by anyone, we will say review the code and comment the issues on the PR. So we want to say here, comment on pull request tool. All right, and should be good to go. We can choose the model for our automation. Let's keep the same one. And we just created agent that will be triggered whenever we open a PR on this repo. So let's now add a functionality to actually leave a review. And we can do it by talking to agent. Let's add functionality to leave a review for a specific product. And it's going to do that. Okay. We can also say I also want filter menu to look nicer, like create a pop-up view where we can select filters, make it look very nice. And I want to show you this. So we can also multitask in Cursor. So it's gonna spawn a sub agent and actually work on multiple tasks at once if you do the multitask mode. Yes, you can see the sub agent is spawned here and we can see here what's happening. It's working on the review feature, and it's working on the filter polishing. So it finished these two improvements for our app. We can see the changes here, and we can also check the app, how it looks. So you can see the filter here is nicer now. We can just select categories in a better way. What else did we do? So we should be able to leave a review for the perfume, and we can do it. Alex, and okay, so we need to enter email at test, okay, test post review. I like the smell of the perfume. Okay, now let's commit our PR to the origin repo. Here we can press this shortcut in cursor, so you have a bunch of actions to do here. We'll do commit and create PR, and the agent will commit the changes. And we want to actually see our automation in action now. So here we don't see the PR opened actually, but if we go to our code base here, we can see the PR is opened, and we can see that the Bugbot is actually reviewing our code changes. Bugbot reviewed our code base and found one medium severity issue. Here we will not fix it now. We can just merge our PR here, choose the strategy, and merge now. Our custom automation didn't run, but Cursor Bugbot is enabled by default, and the Bugbot is actually the automation built by Cursor team that can review issues for you. You can build your custom automations if needed. So here, my agent started deploying this app on Vercel, and on my Vercel project, we can see that agent successfully created this deployment. We can go to this URL and see our live application. Later, you can also purchase the domain, plug it in Vercel. So Vercel is exactly a very easy way to quickly ship your product to production. Hey guys, thanks for following through. I hope you enjoyed the workshop. During this process, we built a product dashboard, deployed to Vercel, and we did it all without writing a single line of code. So we've seen how powerful these new tools and agents are, and they allow you to build autonomous review pipelines to improve your software development lifecycle processes. So I truly encourage you to keep exploring, to keep building, and yes, see you at some of the next workshops.